Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Coaching Handheld Football. Today we have a match against number 3 PTI, pardon the interception. And guys, I just want to go ahead and congratulate you guys. You took us down this time here in Band of Brothers. Bravo. Great job, pardon the interception. But I do want to go ahead and show off how my team did both offensively and defensively. Guys, I did a little test today. Today, I had loaded in the last scheme that I publicly dropped. So PTI was going up against my most recent public scheme. So we're going to see how it did defensively. And then we're going to go ahead and hop into our film and see how I did offensively against one of their high-powered, really high overall squads. So here we are on defense, as you can see. First one, they give up a big inside zone run. I mean, that's you know, an inside run. It's one of the better runs, definitely a weakness here. However, we do manage to shut it down, halfback dive, halfback sting, not getting any yards. He does convert with RB circles on 4th down and does score a first touchdown. However, moving on to drive number 2, you'll see here, he had to keep running the ball, and it does get difficult. So he gets stuffed at halfback dive on 3rd and 2, and then an incomplete RB circles means that we get one stop. And then drive number 3, halfback blast, halfback toss strong, just went ahead and ran around it. Again, massive power advantage, top-notch squad. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into my drives against PTI. All right, so our first drive, we're going up against Shark 1129. And as you can see, massive power differential. And I'll show you the squad at the end, but we're going to go ahead and receive this kickoff. It's going to go out the back of the end zone. So we're going to be starting at the 25. And you'll see, when you're playing a high-powered team, especially in a top league, you got to play smart, down and distance management. So I'm starting it off with halfback zone. Usually a reliable run, but he ends up stuffing me for a 4-yard loss. Huge loss on that play. So I'm going to go right into PA slot crosses. The only time I really go passing on 2nd down is if I lost yardage on 1st down. So opening this one up, it's really the best 2nd and long play in the game, in my opinion. It can beat man, it can beat zone. So we're going to go ahead and run it here, and you'll see what happens with PA slot crosses. So there we go. He's dropping into zone, but take a look right there. The tight end is going to get open at the sideline. So we're just going to go ahead and hit it to OJ Howard. Save the, save that long distance situation, setting up another 1st and 10. And we're going to go in with halfback blast, Nagy edition. Again, this is one of my favorite runs. And once again, we get stuffed. So I got to give PTI credit. Going to go with FL drive here. Get a little bit frustrated on this play, guys, because here we go. As you can see, I'm not liking the throw to the flat. However, it's man coverage, and the B receiver is about to get really, really open, and I could not get the ball to throw. I kept tapping over and over. It would not throw to him. He finally got it off, and thankfully, I did manage to hang on to the ball. So we're going to go with Texas here. Got 2 reads, angle route to the halfback, or I'm sorry, to the fullback or the tight end on a streak route. So we're going to go ahead and run it here and see what we get. Usually you make the read pretty quickly. So right there, what I saw was kind of a hole in the in basically cover 1 that's going to come out there. And I just saw an opportunity to throw it in there on the streak. So I went ahead and hit him right there for a big gain. And we're going to go back to 1st down running. Power O this time. And I got to give credit. I mean, you know, I'm definitely having to work for it on 1st down. That's normally a big play run, only held to 6 yards there. Gonna go with halfback dive. Look at this. I mean, it's literally an all-out field goal block there. If I would have had a pass in that situation, it would have been house. You guys are definitely taking some risky defenses, but it definitely is hard to play against. We're gonna go tight end out here. One of my favorite 3rd and 4 to 6 yard plays out there. We get a nice easy 1st down, setting up another 1st and 10. And once again, we're going to run it halfback cut back here. And in this case, once again, we cannot get around the edge. The block shed is just insane. So it's 2nd and 10. I didn't lose yards, so I'm sticking with a run here, thinking through which run I want to use. And ultimately end up going with halfback blast, the base West Coast version, not Nagy's edition. And with this one, we do manage to make a guy miss and take that up, setting up a 1st and goal. So we're in a good spot here, guys. In a good spot. It's 1st and goal. Just need to punch it in here. So we're going to go with halfback sting here. I just take that one up there, and we do manage to get a big chunk of it out, setting up a 2nd and goal from about the 2-yard line. So we're just going to try to fullback dive this one right in there. And then we're going to talk about another play that I use a lot recently for 2 points, and it's spacing switch, okay? So here's the play art on the play. And here's the way I like to run it. I usually run it as a designed quarterback scramble, particularly if they are doing something like a drop zone coverage where everybody drops into zones. It really does an effective job because they're facing forward. So if you throw something like a drag route, they'll usually converge and hit it. However, when everybody drops into zone, you can usually scramble and kind of bootleg to the right and take that in. If you get man coverage, you can usually bullet it really quickly to the B receiver, or you can wait and the A receiver will be on a curl route. So let's go ahead and run it here, see what we get and how we respond. So right there, what do we see? We see some guys being covered, but we see a nice right side of the field, nobody there. So we're just going to take it for a scramble and run it in for 8 points. See you guys in drive number 2. Alrighty guys, moving on to drive number 2. We were able to move the ball. It was hard, but we did have to work for it. But we managed to find out, that we do have a couple of useful plays that we know of. PA slot crosses, which is always useful. Tight end out. Here I tried to make something happen on the kick return. Couldn't quite pull it off. So, I stick with what's working, guys. I was able to score using conservative play calling on drive number 1. So I'm going to stick with it. And halfback blast got me a lot of yards when I used it last time. So I opened with that this time. On 2nd and 3, going to go with halfback dive here. A nice, easy inside run. And that should be enough to go ahead and pick up, a couple of yards there. Sets up a 3rd and inches. And in this case, I'm just going to go with halfback sting. We used this in another situation last drive. So there we are. Grab a nice, easy 1st down. And that's the trick, guys. Don't get creative when you don't need to. If you've got a formula that's bringing you some success, even if you're having to work for it. I mean, I got to give this guy credit. His defense has just been locked down. I've even kind of feel like I fell for things like where I see the field goal block coming out there. I'm like, man, like right here. I go halfback blast here on 2nd and inches. He comes out in that field goal block. Man, if I would have picked any passing play, it would have been a touchdown. But, there they go. Here we go. Tight end out. Once again, we've got even a zone coverage there. It's just such a good play on 3rd and moderate range, 4 to 6 yards. So we get another 1st down, moving it down. Going to go halfback zone here. Again, just because a play doesn't always work doesn't mean I'm going to be scared to call it, because this time we're able to take it for a nice big gain. When, the first time we used it last drive, took a 4-yard loss. So here we are setting up a 1st and goal. Just keep pounding the rock, guys. I know it is not the, fun and exciting football, but it works. It works. Run the ball, only pass when you have to, leaves less to chance. So here we go, spacing switch. We'll see what we get. But again, normally a design run. I'm going to go for it here with the run and unfortunately get stopped a little bit short. See you guys in drive number 3. Alrighty guys, moving on to drive number 3. We're going to go ahead and see if we can score a 3rd and final touchdown against this guy here in Pardon the Interception. Once again, this one is returnable. With Andre Roberts, this new version, I got to admit, sometimes I do like to take it with him just because you can sometimes get good blocking and take it for a big run. So here we're going to go halfback zone. We got a good play off of it last time, even though on the first drive it was, a bit of a challenge with a 4-yard loss. But we're not afraid to go back to plays. You keep pounding them, you keep calling them. And, when you see something gets good results like this base West Coast halfback blast, had good results with it against this scheme so far, so I'm going to go back to it earlier here on drive number 3. Using what I learned those first couple of drives, in theory. It's funny, though. You'll see what happens here. Here we're going to go cut back, and we get a big gain off of it. Had good blocking, good stick skills there to get some extra yards after it. But here we hit something funny because, I said it in the last drive talking about all of the field goal block defense here. And I almost go a little bit crazy here. So it sets up a 2nd and 2, right? So I'm going to go in here thinking, look, what do we need? Nice inside run. Going to go halfback sting. And we see the field goal block defense here on 2nd and short. Didn't get anything, but look, I'm just going right back to it. And this, I probably should have tried to pass, but I knew that if I kept pounding the rock, I could get it. So I got half of it there. And then on 4th and 1, I was really debating it. Do I go with something like any kind of pass play, knowing that it would be there? But then, I was just afraid that I'd get bluffed off of a small percentage chance and he'd drop into a bunch of zone and I'd get kind of, just screwed over by it. So I end up going halfback dive here. Just, back to back inside push runs, and we get just enough to set up a 1st and goal. Converting there, and now we're in a good spot here on our 3rd and final drive. So here on first and goal, just going to go ahead and run it with power O here, see if we can get to the side and punch it in there. We get a little bit of it, not quite enough to punch it in, but again, we're just pounding the rock here. And on this case, we're going to flip it and go with 9-4 Will. And this is going to be the play that we're going to be able to punch it in with right there. We punch it in there for our third and final touchdown, sitting on 20 points, and we're going to go spacing switch once again. We were able to get it 1. We got stuffed short on drive number 2, but here on drive number 3, we are in there for a 22 on the day. But anyways, guys, I'm just going to let it play out while we go ahead and look at the guys' squad, but going to stop it right there. If you like the video or what I'm trying to do here on the channel, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're new to the squad, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What you can count on is strategy content in Madden Mobile when there's stuff to make. I will do promo breakdowns and stuff like that, but I think I'm only going to bring LVL from like top or challenging matches. But if you want to see what I drop when I drop it, go ahead and hit that bell icon to join the notification squad. I love you guys. You are the best ever. I will see you soon. CHF out.